Welcome to Lunch with Lawrence, Season 2, Episode 6, where I'm interviewing the entrepreneur couples, y'all. And today I have the pleasure of introducing my good friends, Demetri and Coi Crawley. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Happy to be here.
Yes. So as you guys know, last year I had DJ on Season 1 as an individual, and today he brings his beautiful wife on. So thank you guys for coming. I just flew into Cleveland a couple of days ago, y'all, and it is freezing today. Okay. First and foremost, it is super cold outside, and I'm just like wasn't ready for it. No coats, no nothing, but it's all good. We here. As you know, with Lunch with Lawrence, we're gonna have lunch. Jamie hooked up a really good meal. She's actually here in the kitchen right now. So Jamie, what are we having today on this episode?
We've got seared lamb chops, some roasted potatoes, and scrambled eggs with cheese.
Yeah, so basically we having lamb and eggs, y'all. So I'm kind of doing like this brunch theme now, you know what I'm saying? Like brunch with Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? Brunch with Lawrence. But no, I'm excited to have you guys on. As you know, I start my show off with a couple icebreaker questions to see what you guys say, the difference between you two. So, sushi or steak?
Sushi for sure.
Sushi. Uh-huh.
It depends on the day, but I will pick sushi just because it's lighter.
Okay.
But I love me a good steak.
I want to know, Coi, what's your favorite Cleveland restaurant right now?
Ooh, my favorite Cleveland
What's your go-to?
My go-to is the Standard.
The Standard. Okay.
Oh, I love
That's down on
the
Euclid,
Standard.
right?
It's
East
185th.
185th.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
expect
I'm
the
hit.
things
I'm hit.
that's going on in there, like the patio area.
Yeah, the patio.
But
Okay.
the oysters are amazing.
Well, look, it's not gonna hit the gym no more.
Listen, right? That's my go-to place. I was a regular there. Like we are on first name basis. So
Okay, that's what's up.
I love this.
Yeah, DJ, what about you?
That's my favorite restaurant right now.
What's your go-to?
I don't really have none. I kind of do. I don't really. So the only meat that I eat is lamb.
Okay. Oh, well,
So-
good. I got lamb. Okay.
So it's a struggle to find a good spot, and I don't like eating a lot. So it's
Right.
like it's a struggle to find a good spot where I can eat. So I don't know. I mean, so no. I will. We just found a new spot, man. And kudos to Twan, man. But Kyrie's Cafe.
Kyrie's Cafe?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not here.
That's
It's right off of 131st and Kinsman, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
I mean, incredible, man. They salmon. They got this salmon with this glaze on it.
Uh-huh.
a fried salmon with honey
incredible.
glaze.
It's incredible.
Okay.
It is. That is amazing. I say that's like as far as like comfort food. That is definitely like.
And it's
Oh,
consistent.
man. They open on Tuesdays. I'm here till
No,
Wednesday.
they don't
They
open
open,
up
I
till
think
Wednesday.
Wednesday is when they open up.
Yeah, they are. They close Monday, Tuesday, and they open up on Wednesday.
Okay, I gotta go check it out. Kyrie's Cafe.
Kyrie's Cafe. Shouts out to Kyrie's
All
Cafe.
right. Okay. Coi, if you had to choose between taking a vacation on a cruise for 7 days or being on a deserted island for 7 days, all expense paid, what would you choose?
I would definitely choose a deserted island because I've never been on a cruise, but I kind of like to do what I like to do.
Yeah.
It's like control issues.
Yeah.
So you can't tell when I'm stopping at an island for 12 hours. It's just like, no, I want to stay here for 2 days. You can't tell me what to do. So I've never done a cruise for that reason.
Okay. What about you, DJ?
Mine would probably be an island too. I never really had the desire to go on a cruise.
Okay.
Never
All
been
right.
on a cruise, so I won't say anything bad about it. I love to be able to go and flow.
Yeah. Okay. DJ, $1 million in real estate or $1 million in liquid cash?
Real estate easy because let me. I want to give a backdrop of why I say that. Though.
Okay. All right.
You
Talk
gotta
to
think,
me.
man. If you have $1 million in assets, real estate assets, like it is way more than $1 million cash. So but I do see the flips. That's my response. But I do want to play both sides. I see $1 million being very fruitful because right now, like especially with the market dropping, it'd be you can get a lot for your money. So it's tough. But I would say $1 million in real estate.
What about you, Coi?
I would say $1 million in real estate too. Just because I think going through like, not the Great Depression, but what was the last thing we had? The recession. And experiencing it with COVID, like people were selling their houses for crazy amounts of money. And so it's something that you got to hold on to. It's like a longevity type of thing that you have to invest in. So I would do real estate because I think I would make triple that eventually.
All right. A couple more. Just a couple more. Red wine or white wine, Coi?
Oh, I'm a red girl.
Okay.
All day.
Yeah.
Merlot.
Yeah.
Dornfelder.
Cab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't really like wine.
Okay.
But, I like dessert wines. If I choose to have a wine, it's gonna be a dessert
wine, something sweet.
Something sweet.
Okay. Like a Moscato or something.
Yeah, definitely Moscato.
Sparkling
And
juice.
it's so funny. I'm picky about it. I want it to be aged a little bit.
Yeah.
So at least a year or two old. So yeah. So.
Okay.
Moscato.
All right. And then
no Sutter Homes.
Okay.
Bougie.
Last question. If you could only have 3 apps on your cell phone, what would they be? DJ, you go first.
I like My FICO, which is an app that I'm learning to fall in love with.
Is that for your like credit score or something?
Credit scores.
Okay.
So you get both actual FICO scores, not like like Credit Karma, where it's,
Okay. Yeah.
Either way, it's more accurate.
Okay.
So My FICO is one, and then I have my app for my construction stuff.
Okay.
And then I have another. So Instagram, we kind of going through battle right now. It's like I love Instagram for what it is, but I hate what it does. It becomes like a great pastime that's really not great. So, So Instagram is one for now, but I just deleted it yesterday, so I'll answer that again next week.
Okay. All right. So my FICO, the construction app, and then it's still Instagram though.
Still Instagram.
Okay. All right, Coi. Only 3 apps on your cell phone. What would they be?
Whew, that is pretty hard. Okay. I feel like what I check the most would be like banking.
Okay.
Because I'm like serious about where my finances go.
Yes.
QuickBooks.
Okay.
And Instagram, just because like it's just
it's so funny.
Easy. Instagram. I mean, like seriously, if I'm on Instagram for like a month, like I know nothing about social injustice. It's just like I don't know a lot of things that's going on. It's really like news. I don't watch
Instagram
the news.
Is news. It's everything.
So it's news for me, and you can just stay in tune and in touch with those you love, or
That's true.
I mean, but it has its downsides.
Listen, it's so funny how y'all try to name the real serious apps first before y'all get to Instagram.
Right.
Say Instagram
about
for
your
last.
business, like I like this first.
Y'all know y'all should just say Instagram first. Get out the way. Just get out the way.
I'm gonna be honest. That's not
trying
the
to make
first,
an excuse.
I say this though, it's not the first app I checked.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is really good. Like it's not the first app I checked.
Yeah.
As much as I once did. So it does feel good to say that it is. It's secondary, but it's just a pastime.
Right. I got you.
You know what
I
I
got
mean?
you.
So,
Okay.
Mindless activity.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, man. Again, I'm glad that you two are here. So we're gonna get into the business. Well, no, we're not going to the business side of things yet. I still more so want to get into the personal side. So since I now have Coi on the show, I would love to know how long you two been together and how did you two meet?
So we've been together for 9 years. Well, okay. Technically, I met him straight out of high school, so 2009. And then we started taking it very seriously in 2011, and then we got married in 2013. So we've been married for 9 years.
Okay.
Would you like to say how we met?
No, he asked you. Let's see. I want to hear you.
Like, yeah. How did y'all?
Yeah,
How did y'all two
So we
meet?
met through my great friend. My great friend was dating his cousin, and she's like, I got this guy. She's like, this guy, DJ, he real cute. He do party promoting. And I'm just like, I don't know DJ. I'm like, okay, but cool. So we ended up meeting. We were supposed to meet in Burger King parking lot, right?
Okay.
And I'm just be real, because that's just how I am. So I was already over a guy's house.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we in this area, like meet us at the Burger King so you can meet him.
Yeah.
And so I leave and I go meet DJ. You would think when a lady pulls up and you are here to meet a woman, like you would get out the car. It was about 10 minutes and DJ did not get out the car. I think he expected me, and you can't interject, but I think he thought that I should get out and go talk to him.
Yeah.
And my standards and the way that I move, I'm just like, absolutely not. So it was like 10 minutes that had went past, and I was just like, I'm not getting out the car, and I'm leaving. I'm going back to where I was at.
Yeah.
So then fast forward. Interject, okay? Don't be telling me your story, okay? And so further on, so me and DJ, we ended up meeting, Oh dang, we went to the bodega. So that was
our second spot wasn't at the bodega, was it?
Yeah, because the third time is when I really started liking you.
No, I think the bodega was third. I think the spot on Coventry was second.
That's the bodega.
Oh, the bodega. So yeah, we went to the bodega first, and we go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, actually we went to the hookah bar on Coventry.
Correct. Yep.
And so it is about 8 of my girlfriends, and it's only 2 guys, and one of the guys is already talking to my girlfriend. So DJ he could choose whoever he wants.
He had options.
I mean, he don't even know who I am. He's never even seen me.
Never met her.
You know, this is back like MySpace. Well, not even MySpace, like Facebook.
Yeah,
still
Facebook,
out.
yeah.
It was no Instagram, so it's not like he's searching or looking, for me.
Yeah.
And so fast forward, he could have had his way, honestly. And so I'm just watching his behavior. He's buying girls. He buying everybody drinks. It's just like, okay, that's cool. And fast forward, I know how to play. I played the black around. I just wanted to see if he was going to pursue or whatever. And so we started like mingling a little bit. So then we went to the bodega, which is up the street. And we are sitting next to each other. We're having a conversation and stuff like that. So we leave the bodega. And I don't know if it was what he was used to in women. But we're walking out. I guess he felt like he did something, and he is like putting his hand like on my lower back. And immediately I slapped the back of his head.
I know,
and I was just
right.
like, oh, I don't know what you're taking me as. Like, this is not that. So I think, and you can speak to what that did to you.
I mean, I liked her a lot because she was reserved. Like even out of those other women, women, she had. There's no shade to them. I think, that was a phase in their life just like it was in my life. I was ignorant to not even get out the car. I was ignorant to not even say hi or even ask who you were. Like, if you really take it back, I think that, I was very immature. Yeah. But when we did meet, though, when we did meet at that spot, and like to her point, I mean, I had 7 options. Yeah. Right? It was 7 or 8 options.
We just say you had options, DJ. We gotta put the number out there. We don't gotta put the number out there, but you had options, DJ.
And it was like a good.
And you chose the greatest one.
Listen, okay. I did that first. I'm gonna be honest. We being honest around here. On lunch. Come on,
we family. We family, man. We family. Come on.
I did. It was one I knew was easy. But I kind of played the background because to her point, I didn't know, I never met her. I was ignorant to, our first introduction. I was in my own head or in my own way. And when I did see her, she was beautiful. Like, she's beautiful. She was dark chocolate, everything that I liked. And I kind of just played the background because I was unsure. I didn't ask her friend who it was. Yeah. So, I kind of just played my hand, played it smooth. Yeah. And then when we did go to the restaurant, it just so happened, I believe we ended up just sitting next to each other. Wasn't planned or nothing. We ended up talking. And while we were talking, I'm just like, man, she's different. I was intrigued because I wasn't like a real talker back then. I didn't really communicate with women. It was just more so I like what I like. Come on, you. Right. And it is what it is. But it's like with her, it was like I was talking to her and she was provoking thoughts and then having a really good conversation in a matter of just a quick little setting.
Very important, ladies. It's very important, ladies. That conversation goes a long way.
Yes. Yeah. Stand out, man.
Yeah, stand out.
Yeah, make yourself not hard to catch, but make yourself keep yourself classy. Yeah. And for Coi, we ended up walking out. We ended up walking to her car, and then I did grab her lower back. And then she smacked me. But my intent wasn't just to grab her butt. It was just so happened the way it happened, but I respected her more. Where it's like, man, you was getting too close. Yeah. I've never experienced nothing like that. Right. Like, I'm going to be honest, I was able to have my way essentially back then. Like, it was a little different. And I think, man, she just kind of stood out to me. I'm just like, right. You're different. This is interesting. Yeah. And I think, man, for on her end, man, 2 things I just want to just tap into, because when people look for relationships, they settle for what they can have, other than just being who they are and letting that good thing come to them as they prepare themselves to be the good thing for him. So for her, man, she just knew who she was, and that just kind of stood out to me. She was young. She was right out of high school. Right. Yeah. 18 years old, just like you like to, it caught me off guard. But it grabbed my attention, and I couldn't let her go. Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And so then you guys dated for a few years, and then now you've been married 9 years now?
9 years, yeah.
Dang, so next year it'll be 10? July, right?
Yeah, but she had me, so I wanted to touch it. So even this, like, even segueing after that, like, she just was different. I told her, I said, man, whatever you do not let me touch you. Because I liked her, and I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize how much I liked her.
Yes.
And I really wanted to protect. I didn't know this, but I wanted to protect her, but I wasn't ready for what she was ready for. Even to a year after, I'm like, man, I believe it was a year after. I'm like, man, we're not gonna get married or nothing. It's like you would no. What's the name? My cousin's like, yeah, ain't like he gonna date you. Ain't like he gonna. What he say?
Yeah, he was mad. I think because he seen like DJ probably changed a little bit, and he was just like, I don't even know how we got on it, but he was just like, y'all ain't gonna never be together. He's like, I don't understand. Like, what are you here for? Like, y'all will never be together.
I didn't know about it until she told me. Probably like a few months after that happened. She didn't even tell me about it when it happened. Yeah. And then to say the least, it was like, man, I really, I don't think we'll be married, but I don't know if I'm ready to commit to a relationship. Yeah. And then we both submitted ourselves to. I recommitted myself. She was already on her journey, her spiritual journey, where I could recommit myself while walking with her. Yep.
So that was gonna be my question, because I guess you were kind of leading into that. Like, how did you know Coi was the one where you wanted to propose to her and make her your wife?
So from the beginning, she stood out.
Got it.
A lot of I've had in my past had a lot of women, and I mean, I've never had anyone. I've had great women too, so. I don't want to water those relationships down. I just wasn't ready for what I was ready for, and she came at the right. God knew what he was doing. Yep. Even in the midst of my madness, my ignorance of not even wanting to get out the car. Yeah.
But let me speak to that, because that's really was never who you really truly were. Like your true heart, you have always been a server. You like to give. You love people that you are connected to, and even people that you're not connected to. That's just your heart. I just think it was due to the culture of which we were in prior to having a relationship with Christ. Correct.
This is just so beautiful, y'all. I mean, this is a show about entrepreneurship, but we gonna get into that. But go ahead and finish, because I'm over here just smiling, looking at y'all two talk to each other.
I think so. One thing that I really held on to her was just like, even she said it in premarital, which kind of really blessed me. But she like, I see you. Yeah, yeah. And I didn't know what that meant until I really was able to become and see myself, because we adapt to the cultures that we're around. Yeah. And then we become, like, we live in an ingenuine society because people adapt to the cultures and lose themselves. And it's like, man, for me, I was that person. I lost myself. I didn't know I was lost, though, right? Because the status is like the stuff that people think that you should have to be like, oh, man, you got this, or you doing this, or you there, or you here. And it's like, that don't define you as an individual. And I think for me and in our journey, where it's like she helped me see that good things don't come easy. Okay. Like, she helped me understand that. She helped me really reflect on myself, because it's like, she has so much self-worth. I was looking at myself like, am I really that bad? Yeah. And
that wasn't my intent.
Yeah, but I think everybody should reflect. Everybody should look at a mirror sometimes. It's like, man, for me, it's like she gave me a mirror in a way where it's like she was still loving while talking to me, but the mirror is right there, like, you get to see yourself. And I don't take that for granted.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. I love you too. I love y'all's story. It's dope. You. And so now you guys have two handsome young boys. Yes. What are their names?
Our oldest is Azil. He just turned 6. And our youngest is, he turned 6 in June. And then our youngest is 4. He just turned 4 in October.
So, and they're probably like best friends.
I mean, Zion. He turned 4.
They're like best friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
That's how it is with my youngest too. They're 10 months apart, London and LJ, best friends.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So now with all that out the way, y'all, which was great, by the way, I want to get into the entrepreneur side of things, the hustle, the grind, the grit, all that stuff. So, I already had DJ on last year. So for anybody that has been following or interested to know, DJ is a real estate guy, has a barber shop. Last year we talked about him doing Turo, I think Airbnbs. We got on that topic. But today I kind of more so want to focus on Coi, and then also focus on the relationship as entrepreneurs married. So Coi, what made you get into entrepreneurship? Like, how did you know? Oh, first off, let me back up. Coi has a company called CLC Studio. So Coi is she's a hairstylist, but she also owns her own what would you call it?
It's a suite.
Her own suite lounge.
Yeah.
When I tell y'all this space is really dope, we're gonna get into that of also what they offer. But Coi is entrepreneur. I know she comes from a background entrepreneur like her mom and her sister. But I'll let you get into that. So like, what was your first like hustle, or what did just talk to me, about entrepreneurship and you.
Okay, so I never thought that I would be an entrepreneur. I think God just kind of put me on the path of becoming one. Yeah. And so prior to me going to hair school, I had prayed for like a year, like, God, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Like, what is my purpose?
How old were you?
I think I was 19.
Okay.
I was like 19, 20.
Now, were you working at the time? Did you have a job?
I worked at the hospital as a hostess.
Okay.
And so, but I was in school. I had went to school for business.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Okay.
And I went to school for nursing at one point. But it just never stuck with me. Like, I just was not really, like, passionate about it. And I'm very big on, like, feelings and purpose. And I'm never money driven. Like, that's just not my personality.
Yeah.
And so I've been praying to God, asking him, like, what is it that I'm really supposed to be doing? And so I got to a point where I really couldn't afford to do my hair and my nails and stuff like that. And I would be doing all these things on my own. And then prior to that, like when me and my girlfriends would go out to kick it, I was doing their hair. I was curling their hair. I was like doing stuff like that. And so with me going through that season of not being able to afford these things, I'm talking about my nails will always stay done. I always look the part, And fast forward. So I was doing my cousin's hair for her wedding, and I had did her manicure and her pedicure. This is for a wedding. I'm not a licensed stylist. This is just something I'm good at.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing her feet, and this is a service, like this is an act of service. Like I'm doing her feet, and literally the Holy Spirit say, I had to humble you to show you your gifts and your talents as clear as day.
Yeah.
And soon as I like got that in my spirit, I was just like, oh, I'm signing up for hair school then. And DJ would always tell me that, like, because he was in hair school. And he was like, you should just go to school for hair. Like, you should go to school for cosmetology. I'm just like, And my mom tried to get me to go to cosmetology school in high school. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's not, in my mind, I'm thinking like, that's not a real career. That's not, I don't think I can make a lot of money with that. Now, with being a cosmetologist, me being older and actually going through it, you can make more than people who have degrees and who are doing, And so that's how it ended up becoming a thing. And I went to hair school. I've been a licensed cosmetologist now for 9 years. And after I graduated from hair school, I always wanted to set my own environment. Like, I didn't want to go into a salon and because like being young and impressionable, I had enough wisdom to know, like, I need to set my own tone. And so that's where we ended up going to the Buckley House. It was DJ's, his business mindset was just like, yeah, no, we can get our own space. Before salon suites, before people were, like, working on their own. We have been doing that in 2011. Well, no, 2013. 2014. Yeah. And we just started off like that, and I was able to set my own environment. I was a stylist that didn't overbook and have multiple people. I took one client at a time because I knew myself and I knew what I can handle. Yeah. With my anxiety, it's just like I can't have like 5 people watching me looking like when am I next? Yeah. And so I knew based off of my personality what I wanted to do and what I wanted to bring, and it was an intimate setting, and I allowed my clients to be like family. It was just. I just created it the way that I wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's dope. And I like that. And so that takes me back to DJ, because before the Buckley House, which was a what's it called, brownstone building? Yeah, Brownstones. You had the spot on Harvard first, right?
The first
and Coi wasn't in there, but that was just a barbershop that you had decided to create. Because we already talked about how you kind of became a barber and all that whole story in season 1 of the podcast. So you had opened up the spot on Harvard. How did you obtain that spot?
So that spot was owned by my grandfather. He left it to my grandmother. And it wasn't. I wasn't trying to get the salon. I was trying to get the building.
Right.
And then my grandma was just like, she wasn't at the time. She wasn't ready to allow me to get it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I really I wanted to cut hair. I knew that for sure. Paul had just pulled me out of the basement. We were on 40th. And the opportunity came where I just came to my grandmother like, man, what are we, what's the plan for that building? Like, my family we didn't own. My grandfather was he was the only one I knew that really owned stuff. Yeah. Like he owned a couple buildings, not a lot, but he owned a couple buildings in my era. Probably owned more before, but in my era, he only owned a couple buildings. And I'm just like, my grandfather had it, why wouldn't I?
Right.
But my grandmother, for whatever reason at the time, didn't want me to. So I end up just kind of just like staying focused, and then with that space, I ended up finding out that I was very particular who I allowed in my space or liked in my space. Like I was a barbershop on Harvard, but the windows was always closed, the blinds was always shut, the door was always locked. Because I just liked my privacy. Yeah. So for me, it was one of those things. I think the first time I got exposed was on 40th, where it's like I'm used to that little that privacy, and it's like the salon, the barbershop thing. I just realized, like, other than taking it to another level, it's just like, let's regroup. Yeah. And a friend of ours by the name of Jamil, he ended up getting the Bulkley house, and it was like an incubator. I would say like another spot like Paul. Yeah, where, had a recording studio at the time. Had Stretch was doing photography in there, and it was like two other things in there. So, well, I'm like, in my mind, he's like, man, my goal is just to acquire the building. Where it's like, well, my grandmother didn't help me at the time where I really desired to own the building. Let me help and participate with him. Yeah. So we end up getting the basement.
Getting in the basement. And so when did you start getting more into the real estate business or in the construction side? Because even at the Bulkley house, you had to build out Coi's space. Yes. And then you also had to build out your space down there. And so when did all this start coming into play, when it was like you've kind of started getting a feel for doing those type of things?
I always loved connecting people. Yeah. Right? So, and then what I was able to do on Harvard, well, even on 40th, I had brought Paul had the space, and I brought all of my people to build the space out. And then we ended up getting a barbershop. I ended up getting all my people to build my barbershop out. Yeah. And then we ended up getting downtown. So I ended up kind of branching off into it subtly. Yeah, okay. It wasn't like an abrupt transition. It was more so like a subtle, where it's like, man, well, then now I became a resource where, hey, can you, and then it's like, I ended up starting a business around it.
Okay. So now CLC Studio, where is this located?
This is 1540 St. Clair. So it's between 16th and 17th and St. Clair.
Downtown, close downtown. All right, so I need you guys to know this. Coi has really good interior designing skills, and I feel like she has maybe a company on the side, or maybe in her former life. It's emotion. Okay, so listen, before we get into that, like, just when people move around, like DJ and Coi had this loft on the west side at one point in time where they were living at, and that joint was phenomenal. I'm talking about the decor was nice. This right here is nothing compared to what they had, okay?
I'm so proud of you for what you have going on here.
Listen, the decor was nice. So when I seen CLC Studio, when I walked in there, I was blown away. I mean, the way they designed this space is really nice. So talk to us about that aspect of the design. How do you just like come up with what you choose? And you guys work together on this space. Yeah. So she picked out a lot of stuff. You construction. Yeah. How does that work?
Well, DJ is very easy to work with. Like, especially he always wants to like please me. So it's just like, even when it came to the floor, it was like carpet in there. Like, it looked crazy. It really did. And I was like, no, we should pull this up. So then when we pulled it up, it was like concrete, but it was the swirls from the glue from the carpet. Yep. And I was just like, we should put like some poly on here, or we should make this shine. He was just like, are you sure? And I'm just like, no, I'm positive. I can feel this. Like, this is gonna look really good. Yeah. And so it's just me getting into my element. That's all that it really is. Yeah. And having somebody to work alongside with that is just so patient. He trusts me, and so it's just easy. Like, it's a great team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause she had the vision. I'm in the in my
wood
mind.
ceilings.
Yeah, so in part of the space, it was like a wood ceilings where it's like a second layer for storage. We thought that came all the way through to the front.
Yeah.
Come to find out, of course, like we just take it up and then we just have it with the wood. So we broke up the idea in, I want to say, 2 phases. We really only got to first phase. We still got another phase that we really want to put some really finishing touches on it. But to get the first phase to where it's at now, people come down there now. We got that space done in 39 days.
Well, no, because we signed the lease August, and then we opened up, and I started working here in like October.
So we had
like 2 months. We did all of that stuff.
Yeah, so we had like two months. So really, it was like 2 weeks of demo. So it was really like a month of really. We ended up finding out the ceiling did not come all the way through. It ended up going straight up, straight to the top. So we had to. Now we thought it was gonna be quick. We thought it was gonna be a quick turnaround. We paint it and then we make it pretty. We had to really do everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We had to touch every area of this building, and mind you, the building is 3,700 square feet or something like that. We had to touch every area of this building before we were able to open. Yeah. So, yeah, it was definitely a journey, but like I say, Coi was the visionary, and I just executed well, I believe, to get. Well,
yeah, this space is amazing. So, what services and what all do you outside of Coi having your private space, you having your private space? What else does the space offer?
So, including DJ, we have 2 barbers. Yeah. We have a stylist that works alongside of me, and then we have a braider. And in the back, you can touch that.
Yeah. So even before I touch the space, I want to kind of touch on this. We came in with the idea of the salon loft build out piece to the point that we even added more rooms. But the Holy Spirit pressed on my spirit to say, like, pull back and just create your community.
True. Right.
So like we went from like real, like we was on it to like chase the bag, let's go. Yeah. To like, dang, Holy Spirit told us to slow down. What that mean? And then we were able to see God's hand work, where it's like, not just do these people work with us, like, no, like they're their own entities. Like, of course everybody has it now, but it's like they're their own entities. And it's like, that was really just like, okay, Holy Spirit pressed on me a few years ago, that's what we're going to do. Then he put it on my spirit to ask Monica, would you, if we were to open up a salon, would you come? Mind you, we haven't even found the space. We still in the basement. Yeah. At the Bulkley house. Yeah. And then what the reality was, is when with her, she was just, she without hesitation, man, she was like, yes. Yeah. And let's be very clear, like, she didn't need us. Right. She was established. Yeah. But it kind of, when she said yes, and then when we opened up and she still said yes, I was able to see, like, man, it was a great thing that we backed up. Yeah. To really take a step back to say, like, man, we're just really being intentional about our community building. Where it's like, most people that we know, everybody chasing some money, which is cool. Right. But what else? Yeah. Once you get the money, if you ain't got no peace, do it matter? Exactly. So, for Coi, I just wanted a safe community. I wanted a family-oriented environment. That's all I really wanted. And then it created an opportunity with Monica to give her assistant turned it into her own brand, the opportunity to flourish. That's what's up. And she bet on herself. That's the braider. Yeah. So that's the braider. Has her own.
Switching gears a little bit, man. I want to talk more about, like, you two. Well, obviously, you two have been working together, and Coi said she was like, DJ is real easy to work with. I want to talk about when you guys got married, and both of you are entrepreneurs. Neither one of you worked for anybody since you've been married. How was it combining finances together? And then how does that work in you guys' household? Like, who was responsible for, kind of overseeing the financial piece, and, like, when it comes to household bills and business expenses and stuff like that? Like, how does that work between you two?
So there's 2 parts to this one. The first part is trusting one another. And I'm just gonna touch on it. You kind of give the detail on your side, please. Where it's like, man, we went through that process of me growing and us growing together. Where Coi ended up, she worked at this hospital, and she was devoted. Like, anything that she commits to it. And I ended up asking. She was shopping one day, and I asked her to buy me something. And
you didn't ask me. I just
I'm sorry.
I wanted to do it.
She ended up buying me something, and I just showed no appreciation for it because of whatever reason. What I didn't know is that years later, that experience will haunt us, and in a way where it's like we're trying to merge, at the beginning, trying to merge finances, and she like, yours is yours and mine is mine. But then we had a hard conversation years later. She opened up more after that to say like, this is why, and it blessed me. Okay. It really blessed me because I didn't know. I'm just like, man, what like, let's put the money together. We are able to do way more with it together than we are apart. Yeah. And then that's real though. From that point on, I think we got better at it. And we still go through pocket, like even now, like where it's like I still like, it's just you can touch on it now.
Yeah, so from the very beginning, it was just a lack of trust and how I didn't feel appreciated, and so that's where that had came from. But you have done a really great job of making me understand like what is mine is yours, Coi. Like in the beginning, it would be like, yeah, I need to borrow let me borrow like $500, and he'd be like, borrow. He'd be like, my money is your money. Why are you borrowing it? And it was just my personality. It would just be like, no, you're going to get this money back. I want nothing held over my head. I want you to know that I appreciate you. And I'm just here. Like, and I want to give back to you. And he just wasn't one that he would be like, this is our money. It took years for me to be able to.
And that's real though, but that's also growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's people who've been married for years and they still probably don't have like joint accounts and combined there, But it's easier when I strongly feel like that because when Larice and Rashana was on here, he talks about that too. Like, two is better than one, and when you come together and bring your finances together, you could do so much more. Yes. Talk to us about, being entrepreneurs and then now having 2 children, and that whole process of like, working together where if a child is sick and let's say you have a hair appointment, you got clients on a day, but your son can't go to school, but then DJ also had an important meeting with some developers, some contractors. Like how do you two work on that type of situation?
I think we do a really good job now, and it has been through like hard times and trials, But DJ, he's unorthodox, so like he can move a little different than I can. My schedule is built out within a month of like worth of time, and so my clients I can't. Like for me, I just be feeling I can't do this. But we will bring our kids to the shop if need be. That's the beauty about being entrepreneur. That's just being able to control your own space and clock in when you need to clock in. You know, but DJ, it's easier for him to have the kids run around with him in the car and like do like quick little meetings because it's not as. I'm not saying it's not professional, but my setting is a professional setting. Yeah. And DJ is more. He has the flexibility to be able to do what he really wants to do. So I think we do a really good job. It has been very hard because I came from a single parent household. So my mom was very strong and she took care of a lot of things. So sometimes it's hard for me not recently, but I said when we first had our first child, it was very hard for me to delegate responsibilities because I felt like I had to be all things. Yeah. And God really had to show me, like, this is a partnership. This is something that I ordained. You do not have to do this alone. He is as equal as you are. Yeah. And it was growing pains for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So. That's real. That's real. Anything you want to add to that, DJ?
No, I mean, she really broke it down. I think, man, most people think that, once you do it, you have it all figured out. Like, I want to be very clear and transparent. Like, we're still figuring stuff out. Yeah. We're still figuring out how that works, what weeks work best for you. So we had created a whole system. Mondays so we got a schedule that we use as far as drop off and pick ups for our kids. Yeah. But it still becomes difficult because what if a meeting run over? What if I have an out of state investor come in and they just want to have a conversation? I'm like, man, hey. Gotta leave at 3:30. Right. I gotta pick up my son. Now I have to leave at 2:30 to pick up my son at 3. So, and I take pride in that. I think that's the most important asset that I have, which is the quality time with our children. Yeah. So that's important to me. Like, I believe the money and stuff. You have to be intentional about it, but I believe that the money and stuff will be there. Yeah. But these moments won't.
So, and that brings me to my next question because, like, how do you balance? And I guess you may have answered it slightly, but how do you balance family, work, your own personal time? You know, I know that DJ has a Harley Davidson. And I know that, you know, sometimes for you used to hop on that bike when the weather's nice, and that's like your personal time. But then you have wifey on the back of there with you, you know, the kids. So talk to both of you guys to elaborate on, you know, how you find time as two busy entrepreneurs with children to find time for each other, family, and then your own personal time.
Yeah. So I would say what has been recent for me, I will always feel, I don't know if it's like Instagram or just a culture of things right now. You just feel like you need to be on like your business. Like, I need to be doing this. I need to be investing into this. I need to do this. And it would cause me great anxiety to be doing all of these things. Yeah. And so recently what I have like, what God has given me is that my greatest investment besides my husband, but I'm talking about we good. But my children are a great investment. Yeah. And I have to instill a lot of things into them to become, you know, great citizens and just in general, just be great people, invest in like emotional well-being and mature. You know, it's just, I invest a lot into my children. And so I don't chase, I'm content where I'm at with business right now because I can't stretch myself thin on all areas. I don't operate well like that. Yeah. Like my ideal day would be to wake up, pray, work out, take care of the kids, pack lunches, get them off to school. That is a day I'm satisfied. Yeah. You know, like I feel good about that. Yeah. And this is only a season. Like I have younger children, so this won't be forever. The desires that I have, like with interior decorating and development, like those things will come, but I have to take care of what I have been assigned to by God right now. I like that. And I feel good about it. Like I have not had peace about it because I will always be thinking like the next thing, like, oh, we need to be, all right, this year we need to acquire 10 properties. It's just like, this is just too much. Like my greatest investment is my kids right now, you know? And to fast forward with DJ, I love spending time with my husband. Like, this is my dog. Yeah. So at nighttime, we put the kids down. We gonna kick it. We gonna take trips. We gonna date. I find small pockets to do things because I know that this is my greatest friend, and I know we need this. Yeah. So that he is not someone that I think about as far as this has always been in me to spend time with him and to be with him. Yeah. So I don't feel like it's hard or it's a balance when it comes to me and DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do good at finding pockets of time where it's not a strain. Yeah. So like, you know, we can off find we off on Mondays, Coi mostly Mondays, and I might have to do something for a little bit, but then we can do something. And then we have a great help system. Yeah.
And that's what's really important.
We have a great help system. Man. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we got family members that look at our children as their children. So like, man, you know, mommy and daddy need time. They're like, all right, come on, bring them by. Yeah. Or mommy, daddy need 2 hours. All right, cool, bring them by. Yeah. And you know, I think that's what makes it easier for us to find these pockets of time, to really invest into one another. And then one great thing that we both agree to, or even we both walk in, is like, man, we earn each other's love every day. Like, I don't think people know what that means. Like, I earn her love. I never I try my best never to get comfortable. Yeah. Because most people get comfortable in relationships and then it's like they forget to feed.
That's real.
Like, we gonna feed these kids, man. But one day they're gonna be gone. Yep. What is this? What is this? You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what we do now is critical, not only just for them, but even more so for us. So I really want that to be said, because you know we think so far ahead and we think about how to manage what we have, but it's like, why are you doing it? Like, why is this important? Why do you want to achieve these things? Like, I think once you really strengthen your why, you become more content with wherever you are.
That's real. A couple last questions I wanted to ask you too before we wrap up. One, it's really been great, but you guys been dropping a lot of gems, so people, I feel like they're gonna get a lot out of this. Let's talk about Cleveland real fast. You know, I always ask this question towards the end of the podcast. How do you two feel about Cleveland? You know, is Cleveland always going to be home? Do you guys think you're going to relocate, keep businesses here? You know, talk to me about that.
Okay, so I love Cleveland. Like summertime Cleveland is
so much fun.
It's so much fun. It's definitely a vibe.
It is.
But we tried to move. We were supposed to move July 1 of this year, 2022, and I think because God, He knows that I have to learn through experiences. Somebody can't tell me and say, "Oh no, I don't think you should move to Atlanta." I just be like, "Girl, bye." Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want to do, you know. And so, just having a strong mindset, and we had went out to Atlanta in June. We were supposed to find a place to stay. We did all these things. We had went through a long, like half of a year to find where we wanted to stay and stuff. And so we went out there to be intentional with finding a place, and we had the most extreme experiences on not being able to move there. So it was nothing but God, because if it was any other way, I had to learn through experience that no, this is not for you guys. Like, it's a cool place for y'all to visit and vacation to, but this is not where you guys are set. But we were really set on moving, just because I feel like people thrive better when they are not in their hometowns sometimes. For me, it was more so being put out there and being challenged where I needed to grow more. And so I was really excited for the experience. Like, oh, we're going to move out of town. I'm forced to make new community. I'm forced to start the things. I can start over. It was like fresh for me. Like, I can do interior decorating out here, and I can become a real estate agent. I had very big plans on what I wanted to do when I moved. And God just said no. So right now, Cleveland is home. I'm happy about it because God loves me enough to reveal those things to me, to us. And you just have the assurance in it now. Like, it's not like I'm winging it. God really made these things very clear. So that's what I got to go based off of. And I can be content in that, knowing that I have the Creator showing me these things. So I love Cleveland. Summertime, you hit me about December, I'm gonna get a little like, oh, I don't want to be in Cleveland, but I do love Cleveland. I love my community here. I love Cleveland.
I do too. I love Cleveland too. Summertime Cleveland is really, really nice.
It is.
But I believe that it's a reason that I desire to move at some point. But what I've learned is that, man, God's time is the best time. And look, most people so what I mean by that, even for far as my point of view, is like God's divine timing. We tried, and He still showed clarity of why not. I made every reason in my mind, in my conversations, in my village of people that I trust, that it all made sense. We got out there. We stayed for a week. We spent the last week of the third week of June to try to finalize everything. And I mean, me and Coi was both landing. We was at the hotel, and we was landing in the bed. And it was like,
no, that wasn't it. I went to Jamaica from there, and you called me while I was on vacation after leaving from Atlanta. And I'm like, you was still in Atlanta.
What you think? She's like, I don't really feel God for us. It's a beautiful place for somebody. It's just like we just didn't feel God for us. And for Him to give us that, to give it individually and then collectively, like, because Coi left on that Friday. We didn't leave out, me and the boys, we didn't leave out till Saturday. That Friday she left, and then I had nothing but time to just kind of think, ponder. I'm just like, I'm just not feeling it, Lord. Like, why not? And He just said, not yet. And then I called Coi, and she was on the same thing, like, I just didn't feel it. Like,
that's real.
And not to say we won't move at some point. We love Cleveland. I just think that, and I don't think if we move, most people wouldn't know. I think that now at this place where it's like, man, we have a space here and a space somewhere else.
All right. Well, last question. I just want to know, what advice would you two give to, if there was a young couple sitting across from you guys, and newlyweds, or maybe they're engaged and they're looking to get married, or like I said, newlyweds are looking to start businesses together and family together. What advice would you give them?
You can go ahead.
I would probably say figure it out as you go, but keep God in the midst of it. It's not going to be a perfect blueprint. Nothing that I would say or nothing that nobody else would say would make it easy. But when it's right, you'll know it. And I just think that, man, stay prayerful about it, and just walk and just trust. And see where God keep y'all or it takes y'all as far as being entrepreneurs. Learn how to navigate the space. What works for you? What's your strength? What's her weakness? Vice versa. And I just think once y'all begin to just navigate through it, not figure it out, because it's very it's very seldom that you can actually say I've got this figured out when it comes to this. Yeah. Especially new. But I think it'll serve you well if you just kind of stay persistent, stay connected with one another, and just stay prayerful with one another, man, along the journey.
Yeah, I would piggyback off everything that you're saying. It would really be like seeking the kingdom of heaven, and all things would be added on to you. And it's just like some things we try to do in our own strength, when it's really like you have God to lean in on those things. So just staying connected to God, being prayerful with the things that you want to pursue, keeping a connection between y'all two. Like me and DJ, we are friends. Like this my dog. Like we talk about stuff that people be like, y'all a little strange. Like we are really close. So being friends and putting God as number one. That's the number one thing. For me.
Sure.
That's dope.
Christ is the center.
Well, listen, y'all hear it first, man. Thank you again, DJ and Coi, for being on Brunch for Lawrence, Lunch for Lawrence. Season 2, episode 6. We about to go ahead and eat some food.
Thank you.
And
for having us.
yeah, man, that's a wrap.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
All right, peace.